Well, greetings folks, good day. I am here at Forest Law Memorial Park in Cypress, California. This is the second time I've been to this section of the cemetery. Right here you can see the statue of David. If you recall, I was here once before to cover the tragic case of Dolly Cepeda, who's buried right almost next to the statue of David. She was one of the victims, the youngest victim, in fact, of the Hillside Strangler. If you're curious, I'll put a link to that video in this description so you can view it. But I'm here right now to talk about another murder victim. His name was Barry Allen Ford, born August 4th, 1953, and his life was taken away from him on September 4th, 1984, murdered at 31 years of age. There were 5 people that were responsible for it. His wife, Anita Ford, and 4 sick henchmen that she hired. Let's focus in on Barry's grave right now. It's right here. So, this is Barry's grave. And why do you think she did it? For money? There's basically 3 reasons why murders happen. 1 is money, 2 is sex, and 3 is power. Well, this one was pretty much money. She decided to enrich herself by his finances and his insurance money. The only substantial information that I could find online about this horrible case is in a Los Angeles Times article dated June 3rd, 1987. According to the article, Anita L. Ford, 26 years old, was convicted in the Orange County Superior Court of conspiracy and murder for financial gain. Her penalty, life without parole. I misstated something. There were actually 4 defendants, her and 3 henchmen, not 4 henchmen. But she was one of 4 guilty of the death of Barry Ford. She had offered to plead guilty if prosecutors would have dropped the special circumstances of, murder for hire, lying in wait, etc. But the district attorney refused to. Poor Barry. He was lured to an industrial park in Huntington Beach on September 3rd, 1984, the day of his death, 31 years old. He was shot to death in an industrial park. He was lured there under the impression that these guys were having mechanical problems and they needed some help. So one of them turned state's evidence against the others and against this very wicked, evil Anita. This guy named Lionel Cashman, he pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter in exchange for his testimony. He said the other 2 lured Barry to the industrial park. Then George Wright shot him, and Anita set it all up and offered to pay them. Now here, Anita and Barry had 2 children. They were school age at the time. By my estimates, both children now are 50 or older. And if they happen to find this video, I want to say I am so sorry to you people. You were once kids and now you're adults and you lost your dad by this very vicious and evil person. Anita claimed that Barry was abusive to her, and she tried to pin the whole thing on the trigger guy, but really she's the one who did it. Prosecutors didn't buy her story that he was abusive to her, and the jury didn't buy it either. Now, they decided against seeking the death penalty. They didn't think the jury would go for it simply because of her gender. She is now incarcerated at the Central California Women's Facility in Chowchilla, and she ain't never gonna get out. The only way she's getting out of there is if they carry her out in a body bag. One of the things that drew me to this case was about 12 years ago, there was a play that was written by a playwright, Warren J. Duty, called Life Without Parole. It was the story of Helen Broker, who was serving 25 years to life for killing her husband, but it was second degree. And she said that he had basically been very abusive to her. The play centers around 4 other women who it looks like they're being overly punished for their crimes because they were defending themselves. That's not true at all of this particular person. Now that play, I went to see that play. It was really, really good. My daughter was in that play at Vanguard University. I thought it was very well done. But that's not what this woman wasn't engaged in self-defense. The only thing she was defending was her own desire for more money. And this poor man paid the ultimate price. And his children lost a father. My condolences to the Ford children. My deepest condolences. I wish it didn't have to be this way. But injustice happens in this life. My condolences again to young Dolly Cepeda up there. She was a victim of the Hillside Stranglers in 1978. But, what can I tell you? Father, let your kingdom come. Father, let your will be done. And when Father's kingdom finally comes on earth, these kinds of terrible things will no longer be. Rest in peace, Mr. Barry Ford, beloved husband and father. I'm sure you were a good man.